You could be the best chef. Like, you could chef it up. But if nobody knows who you are, you won't go nowhere.
That's
you won't grow. We don't learn this. What the heck? We use money every day. Why are we not learning this? And that's when I just learned, like, yo, all this stuff is done by design.
That Rolex or that nice, whatever fancy assets you feel like you got, it only impresses people below you. It was like, yo, if you want to impress rich people, they're looking at how hard you're working. They're looking at what type of value you got. They don't care about, you know, the designer or whatever you got. What would be some of your investing, like, you know, tips? Like what are you investing in? Like stocks? I know they also got like mutual funds, high yield savings. What's your what is your thing?
So for one of my accounts, and always have a goal with your investments, right? Understanding like what your accounts are for. So I created an account when I was 18. That account was make future Aaliyah happy, right? So that account was have it for a minimum 10 years, right? Don't take nothing out unless I direly need it. Is New York really the best place in the world, right? So it might be the best place in the world for some people, but you will never know until you go. Like, the world is large. Like, you have to go other places. Well, let me refrain from what I said earlier. We will never get liberation here in America.
So what you're saying is, I mean, for what I'm taking in is make your money and then bounce, leave the country. You said these people, I get where you're coming from. So what do you think about families that are interracial?
Black men voting for Trump, Donald Trump. Like, how did you feel about that?
All right, y'all. All right, so welcome back to another episode of Motion and Success. Listen, guys, my name is Cody Brown, and I got my co-host with me.
Yes, Ayo. Back with another episode, bro.
Yeah, we back with another episode. Today is Friday the 13th, they say, right? Not a spooky day, but it's going to be a great episode with one of our past guests. Returning guest is almost like a year now. We about to do it again.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's run it. So this is the episode where Motion and Success meets Aaliyah. It's Duah?
Yes.
Aaliyah Duah. So this is ×2, y'all. So Aaliyah, just go ahead and reintroduce yourself, because listen, when you first came on, at that time we came in. I think it was our first time using the studio by ourselves.
Yeah.
And we were struggling.
Yeah, all over the place.
Struggling. Everybody sweating, trying to get the studio to look nice, camera angle, this, that. Yeah. And it was just it was a huge trouble. So we back and we better. So
now y'all pros now.
Yeah, we pros at this. Set up the camera in 15 minutes, do this, yeah. We doing
it. I got it. Now I'm proud of y'all. Definitely proud of y'all. Appreciate y'all for having me come back on the platform. Definitely appreciate that. Proud of everything that y'all have going on. I'm Aaliyah Duah, 22 years old. Graduate of Virginia State University, born and raised in Brooklyn, and I'm the founder of Financial Revolutionn. So I teach financial literacy and entrepreneurship. I run programs across schools in New York City, educating our youth and, you know, money management, investing into stocks, you know, understanding credit, all the things that we don't learn about money, and we make it fun, we make it cool, like something that they really would like engage with and care about.
Yeah,
so,
that's dope. Nice. I gotta mention like the outfit, mind you. This ain't no name brand, you feel me? No high-end brand. This is all your merch from your brand. That's fire.
Appreciate you, for sure. Because I feel like, you know, when I go into the schools, this is how it really started. Like, and I'm doing public speaking, I don't want to be talking to people about, like, investing in themselves, black-owned this, that, and I'm wearing a freaking polo sweatsuit or essential sweatsuit. Feel me? Like, I like that stuff. Excuse me. And there was a time when I was into that. But then I'm like, how can I make that same vibe of clothing, things that I like, but like with my stuff on it? Feel me? So I like hoodies, I like sweatsuits. So I'm like, yo, I could rock the billionaire sweatsuit. You feel me? Like the rhinestones make it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you can make what you want.
Yeah.
And hold on. By the way, y'all, if y'all see me in the hoodie where it says, if you're looking at a future black billionaire, she's the creator of that hoodie. I did probably like 5 episodes. I think it was like earlier this month.
Yeah, you did a couple.
I just threw that on, and we had episode back to back. I'm like, God damn. And then I had an announcement even with that too, I'm like, sheesh, it was a lot. Yeah.
Or I
But the
appreciate
people
y'all.
rock with
Nah,
it.
for
Yeah.
sure. Appreciate y'all support.
That's
Yeah.
fire. I do want to jump into the growth because from the last time, we had you on the podcast, that was about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I know for sure over that year, a lot of growth has happened. We saw you in Atlanta. You had your own booth at InvestFest.
That was OD.
20,000 people there.
It's a lot.
I do want to jump into that experience, but yeah, how has the growth been over this past year?
A lot. I feel like I've grown like mentally. Like I feel like last year where I was in a great space, but I knew I desired to have more. Even right now where I am, I desire to have more. Right? So last year I was in a phase of where I just graduated and I was just trying to get accustomed to like being back home and back in New York and like really being a full-time entrepreneur. Because before it was like I'm in school and I have my business. Now it was like my business was all I had. So I had to make adjustments to that.
Yeah.
Now a year later, I would say like it's who I am. You feel me? Like I have a new game. I have a full program, full curriculum operating in schools. Before I was only doing financial literacy and entrepreneurship. Now I have a politics literacy curriculum where I'm teaching kids about like what is an assembly person, what's a council member, how much does the mayor get paid, what's a deputy mayor, what's like all these different roles that we just don't know how to be civically engaged, right? These are all things that I developed. I have 4 facilitators. Before it was just me going into the schools. Now I have people who work for me that are able to go to the schools and things like that. So like it's definitely been a lot of growth, but I think it started with like just how I was thinking first, right? My mindset.
Yeah. I definitely see the growth, right? Follow you on social media, and I'm like, Aaliyah is really impacting. Like I remember last time you was telling us about, you was in the schools, helping the kids with financial literacy. How has that been going, and how far have you gone with that?
It's been great. My biggest like thing that I always love to take away is when I see the students have that aha moment. Like each of us here had an aha moment, an epiphany. That moment we was just like, yo, I gotta do this. Like for y'all to get y'all podcast to where it got to, like y'all had to have like an aha moment. Like, yo, this is about to, you feel me?
Yeah.
I gotta keep at this. And when the students have that shift in mindset of like, yo, I never learned that before. Oh, a stock could do that. Oh, I heard this before, but this what this mean? So when I see them have that, like that does something in me because I just always think back to like my high school, my middle school self. Like I never had any of that. So to be able to provide that to our young people, it just really like, it builds the momentum. And I think even to further explain, there's a lot of schools who do have these programs. There's a lot of financial literacy programs, but it's none like Financial Revolutionn. What Financial Revolutionn is doing is really using young people to teach other young people, right? Because we tend to learn from each other. Like, we can sit here, have a long conversation and act on it versus if our parents telling us the same thing, like ma just chatting, dad just chatting, feel me? But like if our peers are telling us, it hits different. You feel me? So to be able to have young people teach and educate other young people based off of the experiences we have, and then to use like hip hop entertainment to teach the stuff, it just sparks a whole different type of enjoyment in what they're learning as well. So like that's really like the most impactful like part.
That's a fact. I see the impact. I see it even on your way here. You just came back from the school, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That is
And
crazy.
traveling from state to state. I remember you did a Revolt conference, and then you did some other stuff in different states, right?
Not word. Like you gotta move around. Like, it's all about getting people to understand who you are, discovering you. Like I always say, you could be don't be the best kept secret. Like you could be the best. We all like food, right? You could be the best chef. Like you could chef it up.
Mm-hmm.
But if nobody knows who you are,
Yeah.
you won't go nowhere.
That's
You
a
won't
fact.
grow.
That's
Don't
a
be the
fact.
best kept secret because you don't believe in yourself or you scared about what other people are going to say.
Yeah.
You're shy.
Yeah.
You got anxiety. This is like, those are all real things.
Yeah.
But at some point, those things, you got to get rid of those things
It
because
is.
that's stopping you from being known. You feel me?
That's a fact.
Like, I will never I'm not going to say never, but I stopped letting outside or internal thoughts stop me from getting to what I need to do. You feel me? Because there's real life people who are being inspired and impacted by my work. So it's like, if I just decide to not say anything, not do anything, that's people who's not getting the impact.
Yeah.
Like, people lives depend on your voice and who
That's a
you are.
fact.
Feel me? So you gotta wake up.
What's going on, my Motion and Success family? Sorry to break the interview, but I had to. I just wanted to share some information with you guys because I know there is a problem. A lot of people out here, they're struggling with their credit. They're struggling to get funding. They're struggling to close a real estate deal. They're struggling to go ahead and increase their credit score. They're struggling to remove inquiries off your profile. I have the solution for you. So now what I went ahead and did was I created an AI powered software that you can use to go out and repair your own credit, not only your credit, but also your family members' credit if you wanted to. So the name of the system is called M2Magnate.com. This is an AI powered software that you can use that will generate all the letters for you in less than 5 minutes, and you can send out your letters throughout the software to get the results. This is the same exact system that's responsible for helping me remove negative items off my client's credit profile, my credit profile, and this is what's going to help you to get that 700 plus credit score without having to pay thousands of dollars. Go ahead and visit M2Magnate.com and start working on your credit. See you guys inside the software.
I'm glad you said that too, because I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't know if it's a New York thing, but growing up in New York, especially when you grow up in public school, you start to care about what your colleagues, even like you could probably even graduated a while ago, you still caring about what they think because they watch your story on social media. You're like, hey, like even me when I was posting content, you know, doing the podcast things, we was at like 0 followers, 100 followers. I had a couple people hit me up like, yo, since when you was like this? Like, and then it kind of made me feel like,
Is this me?
like, yeah, is this me? Like, yo, everybody's looking at me a little different. People see your stuff, they not liking it. But my thing was that I kind of seen the vision, and I just was like, yo, hey, you know, although, you know, they see the content, they not liking it, you could build your own audience, because like you said, you're still impacting other people, and they're gonna rock with you regardless. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. Look at it like this. Like, there's a couple ways to look at it. One way is like, in our lifetime, we meet people, and when we think about like our school, our childhood, we probably know about like 100, 200 people. All right, whatever, cool. They don't rock with it. Well, you still got billions of people in the world.
Exactly. Yep.
You feel me? So why would I focus on such a little population of people when there's all these other people who don't know who I am?
Yep.
Right? And I went through the same process, and I was just telling the kids today, because they was like, what was the hardest part about starting a business? And I would say that it wasn't the material, it wasn't learning or none of that. It was figuring out how to rebrand myself as this new person, right? Because like you said, growing up in Brooklyn, people tend to like, and not just Brooklyn, like just humans, they tend to just hold you to the last experience they known you in, right? You feel me?
Yep. Yeah.
And a lot of people's experiences with me was just me playing basketball, joking around, being that Brooklyn kid, you feel me? Nobody knew me on some like Financial Revolutionn stuff. How y'all see me today, nobody knew me at all. Like, it's some people that got some secrets, bro. They blackmail me now. I'm playing. I'm playing. But feel me, nobody knew me as that. So my biggest fear was, dang, how do I rebrand myself as this new person and get people to respect me? And like, I was going through all those thoughts of like, oh, what if they think this? What if they don't jack it? What if they... And then I had to just get out my head one day. I just woke up one day and said, F it, bro. I'm going to do it.
Yep.
You feel me? Because, and what I learned is people literally respect what you're consistent about. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I was consistently playing basketball, so people respected me and knew me as that. Mm-hmm. Now, nobody even know I play basketball, besides the people who knew me from before. Everybody just knows me as just who I am now, because this is what I branded myself as. So as humans, we could always rebrand ourselves, and we can always like do what we want, but we just got to get out of our heads first, because people literally respect what you're consistent about. When people think of Kanye, sometimes they don't even think about music. They think about Kanye, Yeezy.
Yeah. Right.
You feel me? So people respect what you're consistent about.
That's a fact right there. I'm glad you said that, because like I said, you just need to get out your head with caring about what other people think, because, you know, it's holding a lot, and a lot of people are held back by that. Like, they're not moving forward. And one of the things that even got me out of it, I was like, yo, like, that's in the past. Like, you know, whatever's in the past, you know, you're moving forward. You got to transform. Especially if you want to reach your higher self. You know what I mean?
Nah, word. I'm not going to stay stuck to an image just because that's an image in your head.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, people grow, you outgrow things, you learn new things, feel me? And I always try to not stay stuck to an experience that I know someone has, because it's just like, don't let people put you in a box.
Yeah.
You feel me? And don't put other people in a box either. Like, and I hear people do it in conversation all the time where they be like, that person don't even do that. And it just be like, well, they're doing it now.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the same type of energy we want people to give us, we got to be able to give other people as well. And I think that's a big thing too. People project how they feel about themselves onto other people, right? So if people, like, that's like what I'm trying to say is, if somebody's super insecure about, like, let's say their hair, right? They're going to always judge somebody's hair because that's what they're insecure about themselves, right? So it's just like, you have to learn to, like, not allow your personal insecurities to project onto other people and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. When was that, like, transformation point for you? Like, was it like transitioning into college? Because I know you said you went to Virginia State, right? Mm-hmm. Was it like that's when, like, your mindset shifted? Because I know that's an HBCU, or is it? Was it like you having that experience made you want to, you know, jump into the financial literacy game, teach kids and things like that?
I think it was a multitude of different events and things that happened in my life. My first culture shift, like, shock that I kind of got, that kind of, like, woke me up, was when I first went to Africa. So I went to Africa when I was 16 or 17 years old, and that was my freshman year of college. It was something about being in those,
Wait,
like...
you was a freshman at 17 in college?
Yeah, long story. I graduated 1 year early. Yeah, high school.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Well, but what I was saying was, it was something about going to Ghana. So I went to Ghana, West Africa. And first, just seeing a whole bunch of just black people, right? And how everybody loved each other, how they were treated, how they carried themselves and things like that, and just really loved their land and everything. Then it was something about going to the slave dungeons and being there that just really shifted how I looked at life and, like, the world. That was my first, like, whoa. But then I wasn't mature enough yet to, like, really process what was happening. So that was the first, like, kind of whoa. Then a pandemic happened, and at first I was interning at a law office, and that's how I was making, like, my little money or whatever to go out with my friends and all that. And we couldn't work no more, so I wasn't making no bread. So then I'm just like, dang, like, okay, I'm not making bread for real. And I was thinking to myself, like, imagine if, like, I had children, or, like, I had bills, or, like, you know, things like that. I wouldn't just be making money right now. That's how quick somebody can, like, take away your bag. That didn't sit right with me. Feel me? So I'm just like, somebody's making money because we're still buying tissue, right? Because the tissue was going crazy during the pandemic. We're still eating food. You're still watching Netflix, right? Like, you're still doing everything, but you're not making money. So that's when I started looking up financial literacy and just random stuff on Google. And I learned this whole new world existed. And I started reading, like, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, shifted my whole mind. I read Think and Grow Rich, shifted my whole mind. I discovered Earn Your Leisure. They started shifting my whole mind. And then that's when, like I said, I was in this whole new world. And I'm just like, yo, we don't learn this. What the heck? We use money every day. Why are we not learning this? And that's when I just learned, like, yo, all this stuff is done by design. You feel me? And I started, when you get good information, you put your mans on. That's the first thing you go do. I'm like, yo, we got to stop buying these stupid coats, these freaking sneakers. All I had was freaking Margielas and a Canada Goose to my name. Like, I ain't had no, like, nothing. I ain't own nothing. Feel me? Like, I just felt stupid. You feel me? And I'm just like, this is what they teach us, though. You feel me? This is what they teach us, what matters. And my whole mind just shifted. And I told my friends didn't get it. And I'm like, okay. I told other people, they didn't get it either. I said, okay, the world got to get this information. And that's when I was like, yo, I'm going to have a financial revolution. So that's how this whole, like, kind of thing came about.
Nice. That's a great backstory, you know, how you kind of got into it. And I agree with you. Like, a lot of people, they was just so caught up into that designer mindset, you know, spending every penny to look rich. And unfortunately, that's a mindset that a lot of people, especially in New York, they're stuck in that.
Bro,
like,
it's
you can't
bad.
even get them out of that shit.
No, it's scary, bro.
Yeah,
it's bad, bro.
You
It's
can't.
bad.
You really
I had a
can't.
kid yesterday. He was wearing a black cat for us. He's like, yeah, I dropped the ban on these. And I'm just looking at him like, stupid. Like,
Real talk.
like, it's stupid. That's stupid. Like, when I was in high school, I would have been like, yo, that's stupid, bro.
Yeah.
Why would you drop $1,000 on some 4s?
Yeah.
Some Jordan 4s, bro.
All right, so sorry to break the episode. This message is for any entrepreneur. You really do a good job. You're killing it at whatever you do, but no one knows you. You have no social media presence. Well, guess what? You're missing out on a lot of money. Good news is I help entrepreneurs like you grow organically on social media. No gimmicks, no ads, just authentic, strategic content that converts. And if you're a podcaster, I've got you covered as well. If you're struggling to grow your show, struggling with editing, well, I cover those services as well. It's time to stop procrastinating and take action immediately. Click the link down below and book a call with me where we're going to sit down and talk one-on-one, and we're going to start helping you grow and create some motion and success, but more importantly, get you some leads that will convert into dollars. So what are you waiting for? Your audience is waiting for you. Let's get them to trust you. Click the link below.
It's crazy.
And the crazy thing is, like, you can't really blame the kids too.
Nah, you can't.
But also it's the parents as well, because the parents, they start them off and they go get the Montclair, the toddler stuff, you know.
The parents got it
Burberry
too.
from head to
True.
toe.
No, yes.
And it looks bad because they can't really afford a lot of things, you know. So it's like, you know, like, how are you doing it? You know, like how like what's going on?
But
like,
you'll learn life is levels, though.
yeah.
Feel me? You have, and this is why I'm gonna say poor mindset. People with a poor mindset will always remain poor, because the poor is trying to always act like the rich instead of actually doing things to put themselves in that position. And then you have people who are rich that are always trying to act like the wealthy and are never doing any things to put themselves in that wealthy position. And then you got the wealthy who's just looking down at everybody like, y'all some jokes. You feel me? And all this stuff is done by design.
I noticed the more money a person has, the less they really care about all of those like superficial things like the designer. And then I was listening to Harmozy a couple weeks ago, and he was like, yo, that Rolex or that nice whatever fancy assets you feel like you got, it only impresses people below you. It was like, yo, if you want to impress rich people, they're looking at how hard you're working. They're looking at what type of value you got. They don't care about, you know, the designer or whatever you got. So that also shifted my mindset too, because I'm not even gonna lie, I walk in certain places, I got a couple of, you know, little like fancy things and things like that, and then it'll be like people who like, yo bro, that's a nice watch, that's a nice, you know, that's a nice pair of shoes, and it's only attracting people who, you know, they're not, you know, they
not the people you want to attract.
not the people you want to really attract. So I'm noticing that too. So I'm like, yo, we got to get out of that mindset and really like create real value within ourselves, you know?
My fault to cut you, but you want to know when some crazy stuff I done heard from a wealthy guy? He was like, yo, if you leased a Ferrari, they know you don't got it. But because they know in their mind, if you buying something like that, you got to buy it outright. Like, you got to pay full cash. Like, if you leasing a $5,000 a month Ferrari, more than likely you don't got it. So it's levels to that it's levels to it.
It's levels
like
to
that
wealth.
Song, Meek Mills.
Yeah,
you know?
it's levels to wealth. And I think a lot of times, and I even had to catch myself doing this too, like, we tend to, like, financial trauma plays a big role in a lot of stuff. Here's why, right? True. When I was younger, it was some things that I desired to have that I couldn't get at the time. Yeah. Right? I'll give you a perfect example, right? Like, the Legend Blue 11s is about to drop in, like, December, right? That's, you know how every Christmas they drop, like, 11s, right? Yeah. So Legend Blue 11s is about to drop. When I was younger, I really wanted the Legend Blue 11s because that was a sneaker that everybody in the school was about to come back from break with. Like, feel me out? Really, y'all remember that, bro? Like, that was the sneaker. Everybody had the Legend Blue 11s. You feel me? Yeah. I didn't get them. Yeah. And I was tight. I had to go back to school with the same shoes. You feel me?
Same jacket, same shoes.
And
I hate that part.
Now I can buy the Legend Blue 11s. I don't need to ask my parents. I don't need to go work. Like, I can get the Legend Blue 11s. And I caught myself looking at them like, yo, I want to cop. I didn't really want the shoe.
Yeah.
It was the trauma behind like not being able to get it at that young age that was connected to my childhood that wanted it. Big Aaliyah now didn't really want the shoe. That was little Aaliyah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what happens, we buy things, try to impress our younger self, or like that place in our life where we felt like less than, or we couldn't get, or you feel me? So we have to start looking into that, like, do I really want this, or is this like something in my past life that I wanted that I couldn't get, and I'm trying to impress my future self now, or thinks that this validates me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell I'm doing walking around with some Legend Blue 11s? You feel me?
Nah, that's
like,
a fact. Yeah.
Not that they're bad feats or anything, but I'm past that.
Yeah.
You feel me? And a lot of times we try to do things because we couldn't do it before.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get bread. I'm about to go get me $100 meal. I'm about to go buy this. I'm about to go buy that, because we couldn't get it before.
Yeah.
And we have to really pay attention to that, because we could blow up bag trying to just make our younger selves happy.
I agree, because I still remember when I was like probably 13, 14, and I think I grew up, I never got the J's. I never got, like, I was literally like, the way my parents were set up, like they come from Africa, so they looked at it like, yo, all this shit is a waste of money. Like, yo, the Jordans. So even if like 100%, I knew they had it. It's not like, yo, they couldn't buy it, but they just never.
They didn't see the value.
They didn't see the value in it. So I was always tight. Like, I would be getting, like, you know, you go to Modell's, you go to the $29.99 section. You already know for school, and I'm like, come to school. Like, they frying you. So that was me. That was what I was used to every school year. And it was because, like, yo, I'm young. You feel me? Like, yo, I got to go shopping with moms. You know, you already know, go to the $50 section. So then when I finally got a job, got my own money and whatnot, I bought, like, I think it was the Toro Force, $250. I was flashing those. Felt on top of the world. So I was in that phase of, now I'm copping a bunch of stuff that I wanted.
Get back. You get back season.
So I was just copping a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted. Just started like splurging money, and I didn't realize probably till I was like maybe 21. I kept going down that path, and then I was like, yo, I'll get the things, and then I'm like happy, and then it's like, yo, you drop back down, and then you gotta go work. You gotta work extra hard to get that money back. So then I was like, yo, I just keep trading my time, my money. I started trading my time for money. So then I started looking at money in terms of time, and I'm like, yo, I spend this money, that's like a whole 2 weeks now I gotta work for. So then once I started thinking like that, like, yo, my whole mindset shifted. I'm like, damn, like, yo, I can't be just out here spending money, because that's how you gonna end up broke. Like, reality, that's how you really gonna end up broke.
And to your point, like, that is time. I remember, bro, I wanted a pair of Chanel sneakers for my senior trip, just to post a picture. And I told you I was working at the law office. I told my boss, I'm like, yo, save up all my checks. Like, don't give me none of my checks. Save them all up so that I don't spend any of the money. And by the time I'm ready to come get my bread, I have enough to get my Chanel sneakers. Now, that showed me two things about myself. One, I was stupid, right? Right? But another thing I learned was that if I really wanted something, I have the ability to actually be consistent and disciplined enough to actually save up for it, right? So I just needed to use that energy somewhere else, right? Because if I could save up for a pair of shoes, I could save up to buy a stock. I could save up to buy an asset. I could save up to buy something that's meaningful. You feel me? I could save up for my future. So it was like, we have the capabilities to do a lot of the things that we want to do. We just have to shift our energy. You feel me? Like, why would I save up all my checks to spend it all on this one one item? That was like 2-3 months worth of my time of my work.
That's crazy.
When you really start thinking about that, like, 100 hours for a shoe, 100 hours, you don't get that time back.
Not only that, when you see, I remember when I first started working, I see deduction taxes. I'm like, oh shit. So that's one thing. And then also saving up to get the item it was a lot, but definitely learned from now. So as far as 2025, how what do you think will be like the best bet for people moving forward to get ahead? Because now we already know what we're doing wrong. You know, like, we already understand what's the problem. What can we do to get ahead, like that you might be doing for 2025?
A couple of things. I think one, you have to directly be working towards something, right? And kind of know what that thing is, right?
Okay.
Even if the vision isn't like super clear,
Yeah.
you have to be aiming towards something, right? We have to stop just freestyling and free bowling and just doing anything, because what that is leading us to is doing anything. You feel me? Like
Facts.
not getting things done, right? Being busy doing nothing, right? So I think like understanding where we trying to go. That's first. Once we get there, once we figure that out, now figure out like, okay, what are the steps for me to get there, right? And something that I heard Rashad say from EYL, he was like, win the day, which means do a little bit of something every
Yeah.
single day, because then there's 7 days in a week. So if you do a little bit of something every single day, by the end of the week, you did a lot. By the end of the month, you did a lot. By the end of the year, you conquered everything that you wanted to do, because you did a little bit of something every day that was towards your goal. Another thing is cut the excuses, right? I feel like we spend too much time making up excuses for why we can't get things done instead of actually getting it done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think like we really don't really have time to make excuses, because we are literally getting older. Like we are dead the new adults for real. Like like
facts.
real life the new adults. And it's like now a lot of us are starting to have children. Like I said us, like I have a child, but a lot of people I see our age are like starting to have children and stuff. So now it's like a lot of the choices you were making are not just impacting you, it's impacting the people coming after you.
Facts.
You feel me? So if you don't take the time to like manage your finances right now and manage your mindset and stuff, all that stuff is going to carry on to the next generation.
Yep.
Do you want to be responsible for having another generation that don't know stuff?
Yeah.
You feel me? Another generation who knows just as much as you do.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, do we want to be responsible for that? Like,
Yeah.
how long are we going to keep that trend going up in our community? You feel me? Like, it's way too much information out here for us to, like, not be doing something. Next part is, I just spoke on information. I would say start blocking out the noise. Yes, there's a lot of information, but there's too much information as well, which is, like, not too good. I like to use this example of, like, if I'm in a car and there's somebody telling me go left and then somebody telling me go right, I'm going to stop. Because I don't understand, like, should I go this way? Should I go that way? You feel me? And that's what's happening with a lot of people. They're consuming too much information, and they just want to do anything that makes money. Yep. Stick to the one thing that you really like or you're really interested in. Master that one thing, and go make a bag off of that and be consistent with it. Like, see things through. For y'all to build your platform, you had to see things through. You had to have a certain level of, like, faith to say, like, this is what's going to happen with it. You have to be able to see things before it happen and be consistent enough to make it happen. I would say continuously educate yourself, right? Like self-education. Just because we're out of school or, you know, you may be working, don't mean that education needs to stop, right? Self-education. You should be spending like 30 minutes to an hour a day educating yourself on something new that could continuously just shift your mindset in the way that you think and the things that you do. And I would end it off by saying, like, watch your circle. We're literally too old to still be hanging out with people that no longer serve us. Like, we're literally too old for that. Like, there was a time when we didn't know. You feel me? There was a time when it was like, nah, that's just my man's, feel me? Now we know. Like, most of the time, you'll speak to people, you'll hear them be like, nah, I gotta stop hanging out with this person, and stop. You feel me?
Facts.
Stop. Like, if you outgrew them, you outgrew them. You feel me? Like, I was just telling my students yesterday, like, a lot of people got a smoking problem, for example. But a lot of people also want to stop. But the problem is they hang out with people who smoke too.
Yep.
You feel me? So what happens is if you smoke and you want to stop, but I'm always smoking and we hang out all the time, and I hit you like, yo, what up with the scythe?
Exactly.
You feel me? You're going to fold.
Yep.
You feel me? So we have to stop hanging out with people who don't align with where we're trying to go. We have to, right? And it doesn't mean like you got to cut them off all the way, but sometimes we have to start distancing ourselves without moving funny. And even if they take it like we moving funny, just say like, yo, I'm really trying to like get somewhere right now, and I got to like distance myself a little bit. And if somebody really rock with you, they going to understand that. You feel me? So I think like we have to just watch who we hanging out with, educate ourselves. I went on a tangent. I don't remember what I said, but educate ourselves.
Watch your circle.
Watch your circle.
Definitely.
Less information.
Less information, but good information,
Right.
and self-education.
Yeah.
These are like the top things that we gotta focus on, and just make something happen. Like, I get up every day and make something happen. Like, it's just what it is. You gotta have that. You gotta have that thing in you. You can't have sparks of motivation either.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I was just telling my friend this. Like, sometimes we'll get inspired, we'll get motivated. I can do this. I got it. Go home. Get back in the bed, go to sleep.
Yeah.
You feel me? Do it one time, get back in bed, go to sleep. It's like going to the gym, right? You'll be motivated for 1 week, then you just don't go for the rest of your life. Like, you'll never see results that way. You feel me? And we just getting too old to just be playing around.
That's a fact.
And one thing that I started realizing too is like what I do is I have a calendar book and I write down everything, like as far as what I'm gonna be doing for the day. So that way it's like, all right, cool. I know if I'm doing these things every day, I can start checking off the boxes, and you start realizing like, yo, like you really don't have a lot of time to waste. Like if I'm helping, clients, and I know, all right, cool, this call takes 30 minutes and I got like 5 calls back to back. All right, I got to block out, 5 30-minute sessions. And then on top of that, I still got to be able to factor in work. I got to factor in this. I got to factor in that. So you also got to, block out your time so that way you can actually do the things that really matters to get to the next level. Because I started realizing, I'm like, yo, I really don't got too much time to waste, bro. Like, I really don't got time. When you start blocking out, all right, cool. And then you factor in sleep too. All right, cool. I gotta wake up. Time. I'm like, yo, fuck, like, I be tired, but like, gotta sleep too. Bro. All right, cool. What time I'm gonna wake up so that way I can start knocking things out? All right, cool. Even coming to the podcast, this is not only an hour. I gotta factor in an hour of traffic and an hour going back home. So I start realizing like certain people like yo, let's run a pod, let's do.
Is it worth my time?
But not really. Like, that's a whole 3 hours I could have been doing something else. So I start realizing, I start taking my time a little bit more serious. And when you start like writing this stuff down, you start saying, all right, cool. Like, I can't keep saying yes. You know what I mean? I can't keep saying yes. I got to start saying no and saying yes to the things that I have to say yes to.
That's a fact. And it took me to get busy to understand busy people.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, it's a lot of things that you don't understand until you become it. You feel me? You know how your parents be like, oh, you understand when you're a parent? Like, that's dead of fact. Like, it's just some things we won't get until we got it. Like, I used to just be thinking like, yo, why can't you just do this real quick? Why can't you just text me? Why can't you just make this phone call? Until I got to the point where like that just can't text you. I literally can't just take this phone call. Like, you feel me? That stuff is time consuming.
It's gonna throw you off from what you're doing, and one thing is gonna turn to the next thing turn to the next.
That's a fact.
So you gotta factor in all of those things.
Like, that's like it's like one thing that I heard too from I think it was like some guy I usually listen to, like Nav, when he was like, yo, everybody needs to have an hourly rate for themselves. So basically you basically pick an hourly rate for yourself, and anything that's below that hourly rate, don't do it. So let's say like, yo, hey, I consider myself get it worth $1,000 an hour. You mistakenly order something online, probably like $20-$30. Is it worth going through the hassle of printing out a label, throwing a label on it, going to the post office, or could you like kind of brush it off? So that just make you thinking like, hey, value my time. And then when other people want you to do stuff, you're like, what returns is this? Like, is this worth me doing, and things like that? So you gotta really, you like I said, you gotta value your time. You definitely do.
That's dead of fact.
Right.
That a fact. And people will play with your time if you play with it too.
Yeah.
So like, you gotta, like you said, learn how to say no.
Yeah.
And just be comfortable with it too. Like, that was something that was a big hassle for me, like learning how to say no. But this year I was intentional about that, because no doesn't mean a no from everyone. No just means no for me.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel me? And no doesn't mean never. It just means like, nah, I can't do that right now.
Yeah.
Right? You feel me? And I feel like once you keep saying yes, you're taking away from yourself that can give more in the future.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're thinking from the future, it's like sometimes you got to say no right now. It's like your parents, right? Some sacrifices they have to make to say no right now so that they can give you a better future. So maybe I'm saying no to a toy so that I could put that money towards a college fund. You feel me? Like little things like that. Like It's the future
Yeah.
you got to be thinking about.
Yeah. You said, you know, to go a little bit back, you said the pandemic around 2020 was when you also had like that shift in mindset. I'm not gonna lie, every single guest we bring on, bro, their perspective changed during the pandemic. Like I feel like everybody, that world pause made a lot of people just think like it woke a lot of people up. Like I ain't even gonna lie. I was one of them.
Stories for sure.
I was definitely one of them. Out going to conferences during that time, like trying to get information, because I'm like, I just felt like, I don't know, maybe we found out we've been lied to, and everybody just woke up and was like, nah, I can't do this.
And you feel like I feel like that exposed what mattered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you saw what really mattered. And a lot of the things that, for me, I speak for myself, that I thought I cared about and I thought mattered, weren't really as valuable as I thought it was.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have all the clothes in the world. There was nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. Legit.
Yeah.
Nobody's seeing your shoes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no pictures to post on Instagram. Like, why are you outside? Like, put on a mask, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, so I think that was really the shift. Like, you just kind of saw what mattered, and you had more free time for your mind to think and to do things, versus when you're going, you don't really have the time, because it takes time to think.
Yeah.
That's time consuming as well. It takes time for you to isolate yourself and not be exposed to every single thing that's going on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
You have to be able to take time to do that. And with that comes rewards of like creating new ideas.
Yeah.
You know, listening to yourself, listening to whatever spiritual thing that you believe in, like listening to God or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? That stuff takes time, and you have to be able to isolate yourself. And during the pandemic, we had that time, that isolation. And because a lot of us were young too, we didn't have to depend on any. Things were still pretty much taken care of for us, right? Like, it wasn't like I don't know what I'm about to eat tonight type of thing. You feel me? Versus some adults, it was like they couldn't think because they had to still put food on the table. You feel me? So
yeah, it was a lot going on. Like, I even still remember, you know, some people, a lot of, like, people were getting money. Like, cause you know, most people they was on unemployment, like for a year plus, like literally just in the crib getting free checks. But what did we see? We just seen the money circulating right back to the rich people. Like, so that kind of made me sit back and think, like, damn, so this is what we spend our money on? You see LVMH, richest guy in the world during the pandemic.
Bro.
Like, I'm looking
crab legs. Y'all remember the crab legs? Bro, it was seafood boys popping up on every corner.
I ain't going front. I was seeing
that's true.
I was seeing a lot of things too.
Bro.
Louis store, long line. I'm like, yo, this is what people spending their money on.
Mask on, bro.
But I already knew what consequences was going to come out of that. Like, yo, inflation sky high. You know, today everything's pretty much expensive. So, you know, a lot of people have fun in that moment, but now it's like, yo,
struggling
right now.
The pandemic, I done spoke to somebody before. The pandemic is, for some people, was the best time of their life.
Yeah. Yo, definitely.
Oh, when did that happen? During the pandemic? Like, that's 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You got to re-up. Like, you need some new experiences. Like, for real. You know, like, restaurants they went to, type of food they ate consistently, kind of things they did, you know. But
was a great, interesting time.
It's crazy.
That's why I'm like, yo, some people woke up. Like, whoever woke up out of that situation, which is like majority of the guests that we had on, a lot of them, they always refer back to pandemic. Like, yo, hey, that's when I had a shift in mindset, and I had that idea, and I really took it out, and I executed on it. And now, fast forward 4 years now they're like millionaires. So a lot of time, like, a lot of people, they transform their lives through that, having that time to sit down and think.
Mm-hmm. Is the pandemic when you started learning how to get into stocks and stuff like that?
Yeah, you know, so my dad used to always tell me, like, oh, why you got all these sneakers? I used to always, like, be into sneakers and stuff. Like, why you got all these sneakers? You don't own no stock in that company. You making those people rich. You making that family rich. You know what they probably eating tonight off your money? Like, he used to always be making jokes. But he never taught me how to do it. Like, I didn't know. Like, it was just like, when you 13, it's like, my friends in school don't care about that. You feel me? Like, I'm trying to go to school with the sneakers. Are you going to buy them or not? Like, you feel me? Like, and he was saying those comments. I'm taking it in. But I don't really know what it means. I don't know what a stock is. I don't know how to invest. So that during the pandemic, I'll be honest, I was the Forex trader. I was, and not
Yeah.
necessarily the trader. I was the recruiter. People.
Me too.
They got me. Oh, they got you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going crazy in the
It was a good time though. I definitely learned a lot in sport in that, right? But I kind of tend to stocks more than forex.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of learned the whole entire like stock market. And then now with the information I know, it's almost like I look back like, when the hell did I even learn this stuff? Like, I can't tell you a moment where I feel like I learned about stocks. I just kind of learned it and just kept going and started investing and learned through like trial and error and stuff like that. Because even then I was still too young to invest. Like I couldn't place my first stock investment until I was 18. I turned 18 my sophomore junior year of college. So that was like my first time actually investing into the stock market, and from there I just continuously made like investments, and I invest every month. I'm doing, I have Miss Business on a platform, right? She does a yearly like savings challenge, right? So it could be 5K, 10K, or 20K. I'm doing her 10K savings challenge. I took that money, and each week, instead of just saving it, I put it in a investment account.
Wow.
So that money is like growing. So it's just like little things like that.
Yeah. And you're teaching kids these things. So like, what would be some of your investing like, you know, tips? Like what are you investing in? Like stocks. I know they also got like mutual funds, high yield savings. What's your what is your thing?
Okay, so I invest in individual stocks and index funds. Right? Okay. I tried to get a financial advisor one time with Chase, and I just felt like they was investing my money in the slowest way possible because they were just trying to show that like they made me money, but I wasn't really getting like the percentage gains that I knew that I could get if I did it myself. So I basically took all the money out of that, and the financial advisor was doing mutual funds, but mutual funds usually have high fees. And they're like low risk investments, right? Because like it's a whole bunch of people pulling their money together and things like that. So I stopped doing mutual funds and went straight into individual stocks and index funds. So I own like Apple, I have some Tesla, I have Nvidia, and like I'll break down these companies after I list them, but like Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, I have Eli Lilly. When it comes to index funds, I have like SPY, which is like the whole entire stock market, VTO and VTI, and all the things that I'm naming for your audience. These are all called ticker symbols, right? So basically like the company's nickname on the stock market. And I would say that, so let me just give them a breakdown of stocks, right? When you're investing into a stock, you're investing into a company, right? A share, you're getting shares of a company. You're basically getting ownership of that company. So once you get a piece of Apple, congratulations, you own a piece of Apple, right? Very, very small percentage, but you own some of Apple, right? So for example, an iPhone costs $1,000, but an Apple share costs like $280, right? So that means for the amount of an iPhone, you can get about 6-7 shares of Apple, right? And now as Apple grows in value, so let's say you bought Apple in December for $280. Let's say by February it was at $320, right? You now made money off of that share increasing in value. And if you sell that share, you now cash out and make a profit, right? The longer you hold on to it, the more time that you have for it to go up and to grow into more value. Now the question is always, well, can't you lose money? Yes, you can lose money in stocks, right? Now, the way you lose money is, let's say, same example, you bought Apple at that $280 price here in December. Let's say by February, instead of it going up, it went down to $250, right? So now you're down $30. But just like making profit, you have to sell Apple to actually lose the money, right? As long as it stays in account, you just kind of lost equity. But you didn't lose money. You have to sell off your ownership. So that means that it can be down to 30, but if you hold it to maybe next December, it can still have time to go back up. So investing in the right stock or company is more about time, right? The longer you hold the asset, right, something that generates value, the more time you have for that asset to actually grow. It's like I could look at a plant in its first month, or I could look at it after 1 year. It's going to be higher and taller after 1 year than it is going to be in its first month, right? Because it had some more time to grow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and you broke it down super simple, like really real simple. So you said just individual. So you're buying multiple shares of these individual stocks.
So what I do is a process called, so I have two processes. So for one of my accounts, and always have a goal with your investments, right? Understanding like what your accounts are for. So I created an account when I was 18. That account was make future Aaliyah happy, right? So that account was have it for a minimum 10 years, right? Don't take nothing out unless I direly need it, right? For 10 years. And that's for when I'm 28, if I wanted to invest into like a house, any other business or something, like I built up money for 10 years to do so. With that account, I invest monthly. I do something called dollar cost averaging. So what that means is I basically buy the same amount and a consistent amount of stock for the same price every single month. So I'll get $100 worth of Apple every month. I'll get $100 worth of Nvidia every month. I'll get $100 worth of SPY every month. And that's what I'll do. That's dollar cost averaging. So every single month I'm getting the same amount of a stock every month. And the way you make money with that is you're making money because you're holding it for a long period of time. I know in 10 years, Apple's going to be way more than what it is now. I know in 10 years, Nvidia is going to be way more than what it is now, right? So it's just like it makes sense to invest into these things and hold it for a long period of time. So that's my strategy with that account. Now, another strategy could be, saving up money and then investing when the market is down. So, for example, with the 10K savings challenge, I save the money. I have the money automatically be transferred to my stock account, right?
Which is like Coinbase or something?
No, Coinbase is for crypto,
Okay.
cryptocurrency. That's
Robinhood.
Robinhood is for stocks and crypto as well. But I don't use Robinhood, and I wouldn't encourage anybody else to use Robinhood. I personally use Fidelity and Charles Schwab, and there's also like E-Trade. E-Trade is another good one. I don't get paid from any of these platforms to promote them, but
how about the Cash App one?
do not invest on Cash App.
I don't be trusting none of them. Like,
Do not. I tried it out. Like I got like $65 on there just to test it out to see, because I had a lot of students that was doing it. But I just wouldn't recommend that. It's literally free for you to open up an account on Fidelity or Charles Schwab or E-Trade. So it's just like, why not do it if it's free? And like it takes literally 30 seconds, right? It's just like opening up a bank account. So once you're 18 or over, you can open up this account for yourself, link your bank. And what I do is I put money in my savings account. I link my savings account to Charles Schwab. Every week, the amount of money that I need to comes out. It gets transferred into my account, and I save it in that account. Once I monitor the stock market, I set up alerts to see, because I'm busy, right? So I can't watch the stock market every single day, every single second. But I set up alerts for it to let me know when a stock hits the price that I want to buy it at. And then once I get that alert, I'll go in and I'll buy a lump sum amount of that stock based off of what I can afford, based off of how much I saved up at that time.
Those are two good strategies right there. I'm not even gonna lie. Like with me, when I first initially heard of investing, I always was thinking about long term, because I do invest for the long term. I more so do what you had mentioned before. I have a mutual fund.
Mutual fund?
Yeah, I have a mutual fund, and it's invested into like the S&P. And my reason with that is, like you said, like it's a whole bunch and it's low risk. You know what I mean? So I mean, I feel like the market, like when stocks go up, especially when you invest in like S&P, like everything goes up. So you could win big that way. And then if things go down, you take a little bit of a loss. It's not that bad, but individual stocks is all of them are super important to have. I feel like if we had these things at a younger age, it would put us so much more ahead.
Yeah, be more confident.
But it's crazy. Like most people, especially our color, they don't learn about stocks till probably like 20, 21, 22.
I'll look at it like this way. There's no reason why nobody should be investing.
Yeah.
If you have a haircut, you get your hair done, You got shoes, you got clothes, you go out, you got a Netflix account, you got a Hulu account, right? If you have all these things, you could be investing. And what I encourage people is to say, like, just see that it's possible first. Like, don't think like you're about to be making $1 million by tomorrow. No, wealth happens over time. Like, when you really sit and listen to wealthy people, it's not like on some I got rich mad quick. No. They like, yo, I built this over time. I held on to this for time, right? So what makes you think that you about to get rich by tomorrow? No. Right? But all you have to see is it's possible. When I made my first little $5, I said, oh, snap. Because I look at it like this. If a stock could go up 25%, imagine if I had more money to plug into that. So imagine 25% of 10,000, 25% of 50,000, right? Like, these are great returns. But because we're investing with little bit of money, we're going to see little bit of profit. But the percentage itself stays the same. So if something could go up 25%, 30%, 40%, Nvidia's up 80, 90, 100, you know what I'm saying? That lets me know what is possible when I have more money to put into this machine.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all we have to see, that this is possible. Use the money that you have now, even if it's a little bit of money, to see how it works, so that now you're getting the education. By the time you get the bag, you already know how to do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Yeah. So you're more so in the lane of like long-term investing. You don't really get involved with the day trading.
Nah, I tried day trading, but I think there's a lot that I need to learn, right? Because so to be a long-term investor, so you have two different type of ways that you can look at the stock market, to answer your question, right? You can look at it from a fundamental analysis, meaning that you're looking at like how much money the company made one year versus another year. You're looking at who's the CEO. You're looking at the products that they creating. You're looking at how many people believe in this product. Like, you're doing more so like how the company operates, right? A technical analysis is when what a lot of people are familiar with. That's when you see like the charts, right? You see all those numbers. You see the green lines, the red lines, the up, down. That is way more in depth, right? You have to understand numbers. You have to understand what these lines mean. You have to understand like what the movement means, right? So you're basically reading fundamentals, but on a chart. That takes a certain level of skill set and also time commitment, and, you know, getting the right mentors and people to help you understand. And I've invested into like a whole bunch of different trading things. I just haven't been able to like get it. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel confident to do it on my own. But I placed a couple of trades. I won some, I lost some, you know.
I tried the day trading, and like I tried it probably for like a month, almost a month or two. I made money. Like I think I made like 1,000. I decided to keep investing. Yo, I lost. Yo, I ran from day trading. I literally ran from that. Cause I was like,
you was telling me last time. I remember that. It's not yet.
Still till now, I'm like, yo, I just stay away from it. Cause like you said, it's a lot that goes into it. It's like really analytical. It's like, yo, charts, a bunch of stuff. So I feel like I'm just investing like, yo, long term, you know, diversify, mix it up.
And you could lose money real quick. But I think if you do learn it, it's a really good skill to have, because you can make money from anywhere you are. When I was in Dubai, by the poolside, I see this man laid up, legs up. I'm looking on his screen. I'm being nosy looking on his screen. I see the stock thing. I'm like, this is day trading right now. You feel me? Making a bag. You feel me? Poolside. Not everybody has the luxury to do something like that, you know? And there's like 3 types of freedoms, right? So like you have time freedom, right? Your ability to do anything with your time and, you know, make money at any time and things like that. You have, you know, financial freedom, having the financial ability to do whatever. And then you have location freedom. You feel me? Having a freedom to make money anywhere you are or do anything from anywhere in the world. Not a lot of people have location freedom. And I think day trading is definitely one of those skills that can like give you all 3 of those freedoms.
Right.
You feel me? So it is definitely a great skill, but just not something I mastered myself.
That's the goal. I feel like all 3 type of freedoms, like, yo, that's the ultimate. That right there is like the ultimate goal.
For sure. But you gotta tackle like one first, and then You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how about like experiences you done had throughout this year? Because you say you mentioned Dubai. You went to Dubai this year.
I did. Yeah, that was 2024. Yeah.
Oh, nice. How about like some of the experiences you done had, like
What
that
did I
like
do?
opened up your mind to
Probably the InvestFest experience.
I'm not gonna lie. Dubai was a game changer for me.
Really.
I haven't been the same since I've been back. Like
Damn.
I've been in go hustle mode since then. Like I want my life to be Dubai. You feel me?
Really?
Dubai was fire. I love Africa. Like Africa and Dubai are like, well, Ghana. 'Cause I didn't go to all places in Africa, but Ghana and Dubai have to be like head to toe right now in my
Yeah.
favorite places that I ever visited. But Dubai, just the way that they live,
Yeah.
their taxis are Audis and Lexus. That's their taxi car. Like our taxi cars are like regular
Toyota
economy
Camry.
cars. You feel me?
Yeah.
Their taxi cars are what we consider
Yeah.
like
Luxury.
making good money.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's their taxi.
That's crazy.
Peanut butter seats is a taxi. Promise you, right?
That's crazy.
Wow.
They're regular everyday cars.
Yeah.
Rolls Royce. Like I've never seen that many Rolls Royces in my life.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's not even about the materials that I saw, but it's just the whole quality of life and the way that they live, how they value family out there. Like you see the whole family, like you see the mom, the dad, the children.
Yeah.
You don't see all these children on iPads, this argument. Like you see families, respect. You go to the malls, everybody got on a rollie. Like even a person who worked at freaking TSA. I'm like, what's
Wow.
happening here?
Yeah.
You feel me? Like everybody kind of has a certain, it just felt like luxury, and not because of the materials, but just you can tell
Yeah.
the whole quality of life
Yeah.
is different. The buildings, like I thought New York had the best buildings. I'm like, New York
Yeah,
skyscrapers
it's
is
crazy.
fire. Nobody could top New
Yeah.
York. I went to Dubai.
They got
The
Burj
buildings, the
Khalifa.
water. What,
Yeah.
bro?
And what's crazy is that they said that I think in like the 1960s it was just full desert. Like I
Full
had seen
desert.
the before
Yeah.
and after, and I'm like, yo, they built this in like less than 100 years.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, that shifted my mindset because I'm just like, I want to be able to live like this every day.
Yeah.
I want to be able to vacation to Dubai whenever I want to vacation to Dubai. Like they work, they party. Like it was just a whole different level of like just wealth there. I didn't see nobody around there walking around with no Marys. Like they have all these things, but I just can see how they operate,
Yeah.
and it's a whole different level of wealth. And these are get money people, but
Yeah.
it's just a whole different level. And I was just like, I gotta make this my lifestyle. Like,
Yeah. They said that Dubai is one of those places where like if you got a good watch on, you could leave your watch on the table, come back, and it's still there.
like you just, the things that I saw in Dubai, bro, I just haven't been the same. Like I can't unsee it.
Would you ever
Like,
move out there?
I would love to. I would love
Sure.
to.
That's one thing I was talking to. Even when we had Chris on, he was like, "Yo, one of the things that you gotta do is like, for one, you gotta travel, and then for two, he was like, "Yo, I went to DR and he's living in a whole huge house, $600 a month. Like the quality of life is
Yeah.
very different outside of your day to day. You know what I mean? Like it's different. So I'm like, yo, I can't wait till I get to the point where I can literally move out of the country."
Yeah.
And just go somewhere for at least just 6 months. Like
Yeah.
even if I don't move permanently,
Yeah,
but
you
like
just
just
did.
move for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, cool. Like I'm here for the next 6 months, or I can extend it if I want to.
Yeah.
Nah,
You
yeah,
know, so-
nah.
Nah, that's the goal,
Definitely,
bro.
that's-
Just
that's the goal, bro.
having you know cribs in different places, especially like multiple passports too, because like a lot of people they like we live in America, but you never know what could happen. So,
That's
you
a
know,
fact.
you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, traveling. I will always encourage people to travel. I think there's a lot of things that we do with our money, but like if you have the ability to travel for sure. Like cause you just learn a lot
Yeah.
of things, and it just shakes something else in you. We can really like New Yorkers were cocky as hell. Like we think New York is the end all be all, the best place
Yeah.
in the world, because that's how New York is marketed, right? You
Yeah.
feel me? Like the best city in the world. We're the financial capital. We got all these millionaires. We're this. We're that. But what we don't understand is that there's a high disconnect between the people who have it and the people who don't have it in New
Oh,
York.
yeah.
You feel me? So although we do have all these things, it's not easily accessible.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that creates a big disconnect. The information between the people who have it and the people who don't is disconnecting us. And when you think about that, is New York really the end all be all? Is New York really the best place in the world? Right? So it might be the best place in the world for some people, but you will never know until you go. Like, the world is large. Like,
World
you
is
have
large.
to go other places and just
Yeah.
really see things. Like, it's a lot of places that I want to go, and just it's a lot of experiences that I had, and I'm so grateful to my parents because, like, it just shifted how I think.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not thinking on just
Yeah.
a Brooklyn,
Yep.
New York or level.
Yeah.
I'm thinking on a, like, I've been to 5 out of 7 continents. Like,
Wow.
that shifts how you see the world.
Yeah.
How you see things. You feel me? Because you're seeing other people's way of life. I can appreciate certain things now when I come back here because other people don't have that. I can see how no matter what we talk about Africa, those are happy people. We have all this stuff here and then people miserable as hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, it's real life. Like,
Yeah.
Any trips you got planned for next year, 2025?
not yet. I just came back from the Bahamas for my birthday last month. So that was like my last place that I went. Sometimes a lot of my trips don't really be planned.
Yeah.
Like, how I got to Dubai wasn't planned. My little brother actually took me to Dubai, basically. He plays soccer, and he was having a soccer tournament in Dubai that his team was going on. And it was one of those things where you could, the whole family could go type of thing. And it was like a package deal that they were doing. So I was just like, okay, I work hard. Got a little, you know, feel me? So I was
Why
like,
not?
Yeah.
you feel me? And then you could write it off.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense. So went to Dubai, and my little brother supported his team, but also had my
Also
little
had
fun.
fun.
Yeah,
You
you know what
gotta-
I'm saying?
you gotta-
We was
you gotta
out.
have fun.
We was outside. Like, that was, we stayed there for 8 days, 9 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now Dubai is definitely on my list. One of the places that I gotta go to, and like you said, New York is not the end all be all, and it is a big disconnect, cause even in New York City, like, yeah, you see these apartments and things like that, and what I'm hearing or what I've seen is that these billionaires, they buy these expensive apartments and it's just abandoned, but that's where they're keeping a lot of their money, cause New York real estate is so high that the market is not gonna just suddenly drop. It's like, it's high, and it's more than likely only gonna keep going
Going
high. So
higher.
they they buy these apartments probably for tax write-offs or whatever, and they just abandon it. Like, it's just literally just there empty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a large disconnect, bro. Like,
It is.
and I think next guest would definitely talk about it a lot because we had that conversation. Like, there's just a disconnect in information, and as much money is out here, people only know what they know.
Yeah.
You
Right.
feel me?
Yeah.
People are limited to their beliefs, their systems, and their way of life and their quality of life. And if you take a group of people, most of that time is black people. If
Yeah.
you take us and you put us in the back of an area like East New York or Brownsville, and then put us near the garbage fields and have us eating garbage, and then keep us around this subtle area. I'm going to a low quality school. I live in a low quality area. I only know this location. I will never get to see the other side. And if I'm limited to what I know and I'm never exposed to what's really possible, that keeps the cycle going. And that's what's happening. All these things are done by design.
That's a fact.
What do you think about? Because one time, actually, sometime this week, I was in a Jewish community, like with Bedford Avenue, and I seen like for me personally, I seen like a big difference, and I really admire like the Jewish community. I ain't gonna lie, like they do a lot of good things like with themselves. So I'm seeing kids like they're walking in pairs, probably like 5 years old. Mind you, it's like 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's dark. They're outside by themselves. They have their community. Like, even like certain, like, to get into certain houses, all you got to do is just be able to speak the language or read the language, and you can get the code to go inside their houses. Yeah. Like, it's just so open. Like, what do you think compared to they got their own police, they got their own police, they got their own ambulance, they got their own schools,
food,
everything. They probably got their own hospitals too. Everything. But
they own the hospitals.
What?
Oh,
yeah.
Jews control the whole world.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
What happened?
No, but motor story, Jews control the whole world.
Yeah.
They're powerful.
How do you think? And my question was, Do you think black people can ever get to that point like the Jewish people? I want to hear your answer and I'll share mine.
That's a good question.
Okay.
Because they're
I'm gonna
they're
say
locked
this.
in.
I'm
They're
gonna say
together.
this, and I was just having this conversation with my friend. I don't know if I should say this publicly or not, but I'm gonna just say it. I generally don't think we will ever get to liberation in this lifetime. Maybe in another life, but in this lifetime,
As black people.
yes. And a lot of people will probably say, well, Aaliyah, then why do you do what you do? Why do you, what? Like, that's so against, like, but, and I'm not saying that, like, I don't believe, I'm not this, I'm not going to fight. Like, no, I'm not saying any of that stuff. When you really study this stuff, bro, like, I'm reading a book right now called, what is this called? I forgot what the book is called, but it's basically how the government and how systems and everything like that was created and how they use race, and like black people have tried every single thing that you can think of to free themselves. Every single thing. There's not one thing we didn't try. Not one thing besides getting guns. That's the only thing that we ain't, you feel me? But with everything that we've tried, they have broke it down, tore it up, burnt it down, did everything.
Who's they? The white people?
White supremacist people that hide behind masks, that hide behind these systems, that hide behind like all this stuff. Bro, like, you can name something, there's something in history where we've tried that. I was just reading a story, like, do you know why there's not that many black banks? Bro, I'm reading this book and it's talking about the black banking system, how we needed black banks to keep our black dollars circulating in our community and these banks. We couldn't have, the black banks could never succeed for a multitude of reasons. One reason was because when black people deposited money into these banks, we were getting paid low wages. So how banks make money is by money coming into the bank, and they take that money and loan it out to other people, and fractional sharing and fractional reserves and stuff like that. But if somebody's only putting $10 in the bank and then they need their $10 right back, that kind of puts the bank in a tough situation, because I'm supposed to be loaning that money out and then making more money off of that loan. But if these transactions are happening quickly, it won't work. That's one reason, right? So low deposits. Another reason was because we only could do business within the black community, and that wasn't enough to keep the banks going, right? Versus white people, they take money from blacks, they take money from whites, they take money from all types of people, you feel me? So it's like, and they will use race, they will also use media to fail. They will fail the black banks will fail, then they will go on their media platforms and advertise, oh, these banks fell, this bank did this black bank is that. So now that black people, we internalize that. So now it's like, why would I go put my money in this black bank? Why would I put my money into Carver Bank when Chase is a reliable bank? So now Carver is a black-owned bank that is not going to get a lot of deposits from black people, but black people are going to go to Chase and Bank of America, and you feel me? And this is real life stuff. You feel me? They use media. We're messed up mentally. The foods we eat are killing us. Financially unstable. The information that we know is limited.
Education.
Our educational system is horrible.
Nobody
right?
to lead us.
We don't own the things that we make. Like, when you really think about it, they got us in so many different angles. We can't even agree with each other, bro.
It's crazy.
We've tried to come together. When we came together, they manipulated us to hate each other.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, once I kind of learned that, I'm just like, yo, like, what do we do now? Yeah. Right? Because even if I get y'all together financially, you got niggas that don't got the right mind. We're killing ourselves, right? The way we eat, like even I'll be having to tell myself, like, yo, put that burger down. Like, you're killing yourself, like with the food that we eat, the foods that are accessible to us in our communities. We don't value one another.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? Like, I think, well, let me refrain from what I said earlier. We will never get liberation here in America because it was not built for us to get liberation here. Like what Marcus Garvey's whole point was, we need to go back to where we belong.
Yeah.
This is not our land. This land was not made for us to succeed. We will never succeed here. We never will. But they got us to the point where, I know I'm going to rant right now, but y'all asked me a deep question. But but they got us to the point where we feel like this is home. But this is not where we're from. This is not our land.
Yeah.
You will never be able to grow where you are not supposed to be planted. A fruit can't grow in a TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
I get you. So what you're saying is, I mean, from what I'm taking in is, make your money and then bounce, leave the country, take it somewhere else.
But I can't even lie though. You know,
we need a mass deportation. They need to deport us. They focus on the wrong type of immigrants.
I'm thinking about it though, but I also see too, like the programming is not just in America. I feel like it's worldwide, because even in Africa, I'm seeing all these other countries starting to own assets in Africa. They're building.
They got Chinatown in Ghana.
Yeah, they got Chinese people.
Really?
Even
they got
in
a
Nigeria.
Chinatown in Ghana, bro.
They have it in Jamaica too.
Yeah, because
like, what the hell is it doing there, bro? You don't belong here, bro. Like, that is modern day colonization.
And this
bro.
is when it gets scary, because they're basically planting seeds for the future. Because then now we're known as the original Africans, but now it's gonna be Chinese Africans. They're going to start getting political power, and then it's like back to square one all over again. Oh. And I feel like it's just because like, Africa is just so welcoming that, and then also the politicians there, they just care about getting rich. They're taking money from China. They're taking money from Russia. They're taking money from India. So now all their people can go there and migrate. And then it's like soon, what I'm hoping, I hope it doesn't happen, is that they take over Africa. And then now
it's already happening, bro. It's
imagine we start having white presidents in Africa, bro.
Bro, it's already happening. Think about this, bro.
Also,
think about this. Hold on. Think about
scary.
this. Bro. America is done. Like, it's but so much that can happen here in America.
Yeah.
So they're going to other places. Africa is
yep.
that next place. And if we don't wake up, bro, it's already happening. I've been to Africa. Well, I've been to Ghana 3 times. Each time, it's like when I came home. It's like when I came home from college. I live in Bed-Stuy. Every year I'll come back home, I just see more white people. I see more dog poop on the floor. I just start seeing coffee shops. And by the time we're probably like
coming. It's scary.
It's probably more white people than black people on my block. It's the same thing that's happening in Africa.
Yeah.
Right? Each year I've been to Africa, I even had to ask the guy, because I was friends with the hotel guy. I'm like, yo, what the hell is happening here? Why are these Chinese people here? He like, man, they come here, they do their work. Yeah. And I'm like,
it's scary. It's scary.
But all right. So,
but then it's like they also need them too.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Because check this out.
For building and architecture and stuff.
Do they need them?
All right. So look at it like this, Aaliyah. So now, say for example, I've heard of a program where they call, I think it's Peace Corps or something like that, where they will pay people to come in these different countries that are lacking because the economy is so bad, the agriculture is bad, and the population is very low. So they're paying people like to come to these different countries to help boost it up. So they will pay for your housing, and they will pay for your living costs, and they're just paying you to live basically. I heard they have something called Peace Corps of Senegal, where they'll pay people to come to these countries and literally just build up. Because now, say, for example, it's kind of like what you do. If you come into the school, you have an expertise of podcasting. I don't know how to do a podcast, so I need you to come in and teach these kids how to do podcasting. It's the same thing when it comes to the economy and, people moving to different countries.
I get that, but you have to understand the long-term effects and benefits of that, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it's anything that we've seen, right, we were welcoming to the white people in Africa.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, in South Africa.
Did
South
that,
Africa is a
did-
lot of white people.
It was
bro.
racism in Africa,
Did
bro.
that-
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
did that help us?
It's crazy. Nah.
Right? So we got to be a little bit more strategic.
Yeah.
Two things can be true at one time. Yes, it can be helpful.
Not necessarily.
Two things can be true at once. Two things can be true at once, right? So for example, to your point, it could be helpful and immediate, where it's bringing people to the community, it's bringing people to live here. Now the communities are being built, they're starting to thrive, and then the economy is starting to thrive. Cool. But then the other truth is, what is that doing to us long term, right? If we're not strategic with the people that we're bringing in, these people can start to become our colonizer. These people can now start to become our enemies. These people can start to now become the people who are taking over our land, right? So you have to be, I think, and again, I'm not no economist or no global leader or stuff like that, and I do think there's a lot of things that we just don't know when you come to things at those levels. But I think from the outside looking in, we just have to be way more strategic and really pay attention, and just not all money is good money, and not everything that can be helpful in the immediate we can't say won't have long-term effects.
So now let me ask you this question. So you said these people, I get where you're coming from. So what do you think about families that are interracial?
Now you want me to go Dr. Umar. Okay. Okay.
What do you think
I
about
see
that?
what you want me to do here. Me personally, I'm not going to go Dr. Umar, because Dr. Umar be having all the statistics and this and that. But I do think, again, we have to understand what we are doing. Right? Because when you're mixing a race, you're bringing two worlds together. Right? And we just have to understand what we're doing when we're doing that. You know what I'm saying? We need more black families. We need more strong black families where there's a mom, there's a dad, there's children, there's presence there. We need strong family because, so y'all know who Dr. Frazier is?
No.
Dr. Frazier.
All right, so Dr. Frazier, y'all know John Hope Bryant?
Yeah, I seen his content.
Okay. John Hope Bryant, he's like the head of Operation Hope, which is like a financial literacy company. Think of they're like the EYLs before EYL, right? Like they're like the people, like the elders that have like this information. So Dr. Frazier, he has to be like in his 70s, 80s or whatever. And he has this thing where he talks about the median income and average income for each race, household wise, like each family. I mean, not income, the median marriage rate for each race. Yeah. And you know who's at the top? Who do you think's at the top for marriage rate? Highest
divorce
marriage
or
rate?
marriage?
Marriage.
The marriage rate, probably Caucasians.
What's your get?
I feel like I might say an answer, but it's gonna be thrown off. White people?
Okay. No.
Blacks?
No. Hell
Jews?
no. No. It is. I didn't mean to say hell no, but it's actually East Indians. I want to make sure I have it correct, but it's like East Indians, right? So some Asian communities. So I think it's Indians, right? And this is marriage rate, right? And with that comes, they're also the highest household income rate, right? Yeah. Because when the family is together, that means now you have more people building together, right? You have more generational wealth. You have things that's being passed down, right? You had East Indians. I think you had Asians, I believe it was. Then I think it was whites. And then I think it was black people. But I can be all the way wrong. But we're at the bottom of the list, more of the story. And when you look at that, if you come from a broken home and you come from instability, right? Like not being able to be in a stable in a stable household, that messes up your mental. Yeah. that messes up your value system. That messes up now what you're able to bring to the table. We need more families coming together in our community, right? Because with family, now you're able to build that generational wealth. You have people working together. And when now you think about interracial families, now you're building wealth for family. How does that work? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, so we need more stronger. And again, I don't want to speak too much on that because I'm not feel me. I feel like you love who you love, whatever. I would never that's it. But I just know for me, like that's just not the vibe that I'm on. And I think that
I got like two things that I even two things that I was gonna ask you was that reminded me of Kobe Bryant's situation. To get back to the Dr. Umar situation, it did remind me of Kobe's situation where he, Kobe died. He married I believe she was Spanish. Mm-hmm. Kobe didn't get along with his parents or whatever before he died. Like they had a little fallout. They weren't getting along, and Kobe died. So most of Kobe's inheritance went to, so basically Kobe, he played basketball his whole life. Like we talking about broke bones, broke, Achilles, torn everything. $400 million of the money he worked hard for I believe it went to his wife. And everybody,
to the mom or something like that, right?
Everybody basically said like his wife, being that she's of another race, that money isn't going back to the black community anyway. So that also made me think, I'm like, damn, he do got a point. Because it's like Kobe did end up marrying somebody out of his race. Now he's dead. $400 million that he worked for. His wife is not black, so she doesn't understand the importance of investing into the black communities and things like that. So all of that money isn't going to touch the black community. So I was like, damn.
Interesting point. Nah, for real.
That's it. Which it makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? And rest in peace to Kobe. And then the second thing I was going to say was, this is a little bit of a viral question, but how did you feel about...
Are you trying to put
I'm here for it, bro. I have these conversations every day. Yeah, y'all watch my stories, bro. I have these conversations every day.
She be having her TED Talks.
Bro.
All right, so we're going to get this clip right. All right, so...
Trying to click me, bro. Bro.
Nah. But how did you feel about, black men voting for Trump, Donald Trump? Like, how did you feel about that?
Okay, I think you're probably looking for a certain answer, but I'm gonna tell you like my answer for real, right? So me personally, I don't think there's no politician that's about to save black people.
Yeah.
Because again, this system is not designed for us to win and succeed. There's nobody coming to save us. There's nobody coming to save us, right? When you get to those levels, right, you tend to be bought out. You tend to just work for people and things like that. However, I think being able to have Kamala in office versus Trump was going to give us more of a chance to have a seat at the table. This is going to be the whitest. He just got one black person in his cabinet, and that black person is probably not even. You feel me?
But we can go back to the interracial stuff.
What?
She has a white husband.
She has a white Jew husband. Yeah, but all that is by design. Again, it goes back to my point of me saying that no politician was coming to save us.
Nobody.
I wasn't on some Kamala like type of person. You never seen me do that. I wasn't wearing a Kamala shirt or anything. I just like what it stood for. Yeah. Right? It's almost like Barack Obama. I like what Barack Obama stood for. Right? Barack Obama gave young black people hope. I remember I was in 5th grade when Obama first won. Right? I remember us having a whole town hall for us to see him get inaugurated and that whole thing. I actually went to Obama's second inauguration. I can't unsee that. I saw that. I saw someone who looked like me be in a highest position in America. You feel me? So what that means, for black women, if Kamala would have won, or just her running, right? What that means for black women, what that shows is, we can actually do that. I like that idea. That's one.
Yeah.
I also think I like the idea that we would have had a seat at the table to actually speak for black people.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is not going to give a damn about what we got going on. He's not going to care. But to answer your question about black men voting for Trump,
A lot of them had to hide, like, you know.
I think a lot of things come with ignorance and ego. Right? Ignorance is only knowing what you know and not knowing and just not knowing. Right? So knowing like, oh, my taxes are going to be lower. Okay. Is it really going to be lower for you? Okay. How much lower? Is it going to be lower enough where now you're okay to deal with like 10 times worth white supremacy? Is it worth that? Right? Is it low enough where you are now can say, I agree with police immunity? Right? Now, what if you get stopped by the cops and God forbid somebody shoots you down? Would you care about your taxes then? You feel me? Right? So I think ignorance was a big thing. And again, I think ego. I think in this election, a lot of people wanted to seem different and woke and felt like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go on the Trump train and be woke and doing something. You sound stupid, bro. You sound stupid. And then you sound extra stupid because now you are pro-Trump when he looking at you like these stupid black people. Like we have as some, like I always said to myself, I'm super scared of any black person, woman or man who is super pro Trump. Like that's mad scary to me. Like even if you care about one policy that he has or you care about the tax, shut up. You feel me? But like to be on some yay Trump 2024 Trump, like that's strange to me. That's weird.
But wouldn't it be the same if it's both parties? Wouldn't it all right, so what if somebody's pro Kamala? Wouldn't that?
Well, I think so. I think it depends.
It's politics.
It is politics, and again, I told you for myself.
No,
I'm never pro.
Thing.
I'm never gonna be pro.
No. You said all right. You said somebody. You will be scared of a person that's pro Trump. Make America great again. Yeah. How about the same? Would you not be scared for somebody that's pro Kamala?
Well, let me put it like this. I'm definitely scared of anybody who is pro super Trump, right? But I'm also scared of anyone who thinks that there's going to be this one person who brings this super change to the world because now you're living in a delusional life. You're living in delusion. It's been years. It's been slavery was like 400 years. You have 100 years since all this time of Jim, like all the, you feel me? Yeah. So nobody saved us yet.
Facts.
And the people that we could say, oh, the Emancipation Proclamation, you had this, you had that law passed. Were those laws really passed for us? Yeah. Or were they passed with another agenda, but it just had a minor impact on us? Right? Yeah. Because when I go to the black community, I still see the same things that people were talking about was happening in the 1960s. You feel me? So it's like, did things really change? Just like we have to understand, just because something isn't happening in our world does not mean that it doesn't exist. Yeah. You feel me? And I don't think there's going to be any politician that saves us. And it's for a couple of reasons. Us as black people, that's why I added politics to my curriculum. We don't learn politics in the school system, again, which is done by design. With us not learning politics, we grow up not understanding the importance of civic engagement. We don't understand the importance of donating to campaigns, right? So if I'm running for, let's say I'm running for mayor, and I'm like, yo, Io, I need 1,000 from you. I need 1,000 for you. I need you to get all your friends together. I need money from all you guys. Y'all don't really care. Y'all don't really know. Y'all come to my events. Y'all don't donate. You feel me? Like y'all support me and vote, but y'all don't support me with dollars. Yeah. Now where do I have to go get the money from? I gotta get the money from somewhere. Yeah. I gotta go to the Jews. I gotta go to the white foundations and the white people. I gotta go to lobbyists that work for companies. And in return, they're gonna want me to do something for them. Yeah. They're gonna want me to pass certain bills for them. They're gonna want me to be pro certain things for them. Why do you think Elon Musk made so much money being next to Trump? All that stuff is done by design. Yeah. And because we don't donate with our dollars, this stuff is happening.
Facts,
you feel me?
Facts. Nah, you definitely right. I ain't even gonna lie. I was always out. Like I was one of those people who you know I was into the politics, and I just had to kind of like, I don't know. I had my own enlightenment when I woke up. When I woke up and I was like, yo, I gotta change my perspective, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm on Twitter a lot, and Twitter, the news that they be putting on Twitter be pretty accurate. So I look at it like the Democrats took advantage of the black people for years. You know, I was born and raised, you know, with my parents being Democrat, and they put my head in that direction, which is why I said, like, I don't really like take politics to, because it's always the red versus the blue. I try not to personalize it, because it just puts us in a box. Like, to the point, this campaign really showed, like, yo, the Democrats expected a black vote. So when Trump was actually going out into the black communities and they seen his numbers were going up, they were shocked, because they feel entitled to the black vote, which is true. You know, everybody's like, yo, hey, yo, Democrat, black, like, yo, if you, you know, even Biden has said one time, like, yo, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black, you know. So he was proudly saying that outside. So that right there really told me, like, you know, I gotta see the bigger picture. I gotta kind of wake up. So for this election, I looked at it, I was like, yo, let me see what's going on. Democrats, you know, I don't believe everything Trump says. Kamala either, because I was seeing, I'm like, yo, either way, it's gonna be a big shift, you know, because these are two parties that are just very, you know, very different views. So we were going through the migrant crisis at the time, and one of the things that I seen was New York. We seen what this was doing to our city. You know, hotels crowded, people on the street. And one time Eric Adams, he did call it out. You know, he was like, yo, hey, we can't have this in our city. And when I seen how the Democratic Party, I don't know if it was them directly, but they were trying to take him out. And I said to myself, I was like, he doesn't align with their views, which their views for some reason was to keep the migrants, to keep them in the city, which some people say maybe they could be the new Democratic voters. It was a political reason why they wanted to keep them here. And he didn't agree with it. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing rumors with him. They're trying to get him out. They want him to step down. So I'm looking like you have to align with every single thing. If you're Democrat, well, you better align with the migrants. You better align with what is it? The gender transformation surgery. You have to align with literally everything on that party. So, you know, although it is for black people, like I had a heated argument with my brother too, because he's he's super Democrat, and I told him, like, yo, bro, I don't support any party. Like, I told him straight up. It's like, yo, you bugging, yo. Nah, yo, you gotta be Democrat. Yo, think about the black kid growing up. And I was like, yo, bro, you're right. You're 100% right. And he was just telling me, yo, go out and vote. But I'm like, yo, I said, yo, I feel like either side can take it.
So did you vote?
I did vote.
Okay.
I did vote.
Who did you vote for?
I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did vote for Kamala. You know,
you was about to scare me.
No. I did vote for Kamala, but behind my head, I knew she wasn't gonna win. And the reason why was just because of the news I was seeing on Twitter and the way I seen just black people overall disappointed in how.
But she didn't lose to black people though.
Yeah, no. I'm saying like just like seeing like the whole overall like America in general just wanted to change. You know what I mean?
But
like,
I don't think that's why she lost.
Why do you think she lost?
She lost by a big margin, and I seen it coming.
But I don't think it's because it was. I don't. Okay, I have two things to talk about.
But I feel like it's not, like you said, it's not totally on the black people, but we have to look at what the Democrats did the past 4 years. And that's the reason why I personally, truly, even though I circled her name, bubbled her name, I was like, yo, she's gonna lose this election, because the way Biden just held the last 4 years, just wasn't it wasn't good for America in terms of the way our money was being spent. You know, you're seeing dollars go to Ukraine. You're seeing the migrants. Like, a lot of people were just fed up. you know.
Okay.
So people want to change. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of just predicted like, yo, this is gonna go.
I think Kamala didn't win because I think America is definitely
Sexist.
not only sexist, but it's a racist country. Like, race will always
True.
remain an issue here in
Oh, yeah.
America. Like,
That's 100%.
there's still systems that are in place that discriminate towards us and make sure that we don't get the same equality and equity as other races. Like, America is literally a racist country, right? And what they continuously do is they feed us bait and then they take it away from us, right? That's exactly what they did with Kamala, right? They fed us the bait, right? Made her the vice president, you know, let her run the whole presidential campaign. She ran a solid campaign. She definitely ran a solid campaign. She didn't brand herself as Joe Biden or as VP. She branded herself as like a whole new idea and things like that. Definitely ran a solid campaign and made us feel like she could have had a possibility to win. But then took took the bait.
Yeah.
You feel me? Took it away from us, right? And I think like that's what they continuously do. And what they do is they do that so that we can internalize this, right?
Yeah.
So that we can now feel like, damn, we'll never be able to get in these positions. We'll never get the rights that we deserve. We'll never get, you feel me?
Yeah.
That's one part. But to speak with you on Eric Adams, I personally don't think that that was the Democrat Party that did that. I personally think that he got some people behind the scenes mad. Like, this is politics, right? I personally think that he got some people behind the scenes mad and he was giving too many black people money and he was putting too many black people on. He became a threat to like kind of like the system in a way, right? I literally was in a meeting with him where he was talking about like, yo, what can we do? Like, like on some low key stuff, and he was doing too much of that. He was putting his mans on. He was putting this person on, putting these different people in these high positions and really giving us money. And you can't come up in New York City and do that.
Yeah. Nah,
You
you
feel
right.
me?
You right.
So I have to tarnish your name, tarnish your brand, and now make it super hard for anyone to ever trust you. And you know who's gonna run with that? Us black people. Soon as allegations against Jay-Z come out, who's sharing that? Us black people. Right? Soon as things with Diddy come out, who's sharing that? Us black people. Even if we don't tolerate it, like we need to watch what we share and what we, you know, repost and stuff. Like I would never, I'm not gonna say never, but I try not to pay attention to things that are exploiting my people. You feel me? Because there's the systems put in place that are doing these things by design. Remember when I was telling you about the black banks?
Yeah.
There was literally a bank owner, right, who owned like one of the most successful black banks. I forgot his name. And this happened back in like the 1960s or 1950s earlier. Nah, not even that they burned it down. They put him in jail for fraud. He didn't do anything fraudulent.
Yeah.
But they did that to tarnish his name and his reputation because they knew how powerful his bank was.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, these are things that they do on purpose because when you get black people in power, they that really like that, they want to help our people.
Yeah.
You feel me? And you get stuck in this position of like, damn, how do I help my people make money and also don't get like bought out or like politics is a dirty game.
Yeah, nah, it is. It is. That's a fact, 100%. You know, I agree with you, but I do believe politics this year was just super complicated. You know, because like I said, it was just so divided. Like even when people ask me like, yo, who should I vote for? I'm like, yo, bro, go with your values. You know, some people valued, you know, diversity. You know, the fact black people is gonna get a seat at the table. That was on top of their list. And then you had even black people who was like, yo, hey, I'm sick of these migrants. Yo, I want them out of here. I'm like, yo, if that's on top of your value list, then you have to decide what party, you know, that's gonna handle that.
I don't know if it's just me.
Some people
do the migrants bother you?
They don't really bother me. But it's like a 50-50 thing with me because it's like, you know, the fact I do feel sad seeing them on the street. I'm like, yo, it's cold outside. Yo, why is there so much of them? You know, they're getting debit cards. You know, free a bunch of stuff was just. And then remember now, they're competing with other people at the bottom, which unfortunately is a lot of black people. So, you remember, you have black people who are on EBT, who are getting food stamps. Now think about, they have to divide that tax, our tax dollars, amongst, now it's not just black people. Now it's the migrants. So they have to divide that tax dollars amongst the bottom. So you can see why some people was just so eager to get them out, because remember, these are people, they got no documents, but now it's like, you know, they don't got no money. So who has to give them the money? It's the city. And that money is divided amongst the black people also at the bottom. So you got to think about that part too.
I get that, but I think people aren't telling the whole story, because I was also listening to something and they were basically like, you know, we can say the migrants aren't this, the migrants aren't that, but when you need something done with your house for the low, who you asking?
Yeah, you got to ask them. Yeah.
Right?
Facts.
When we think about these type of things.
Sorry to cut you, but they do say migrants were built like America in places like Dubai as well, because it's cheaper labor.
You feel me?
We don't want to
Americans, bro.
Yeah.
We're mad spoiled.
Yeah.
Don't want to do stuff. Want to stay on these programs.
Yeah.
Want to just live like. There needs to be a cap, a limit to how long you can receive government assistance. Like that shouldn't be a livelihood, bro. I work with this nonprofit where I'm basically work with, like, I don't want to put it up. I work with this nonprofit, right?
Yeah.
And with that nonprofit, I'm a financial like counselor, consultant with like all these different people. And just hearing how comfortable they are just being at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
That's like what they're accepting in their life. That's a way of life, like how they think. They're accepting that. And a lot of people are so comfortable accepting the bare minimum that they can't even like imagine what the other side will look like. Yeah. You feel me? So it's just like, while you complaining about the migrants, use that same energy to go build something for yourself. You feel me? Like, it's not like you're taking these government programs and using it as a leg up. You're just trying to stay on this for your whole life. Like, that's not how you're supposed to live.
Facts.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, are we really complaining about the right things right now? You feel me? I get the whole crime thing with the migrants. I get that, like, but again, God rest my soul, but no migrant ever bothered me. You feel me?
True. It's true, but that's why I was saying, like, with me, when people ask me like, yo, hey, who do you want me to vote for? I'm like, yo, you gotta think about what you value. Like, some people, they value like, yo, hey, like you said, yo, you know, diversity, you know, a lot of black people is gonna get positions in politics. Some people was more so concerned, like I said, the migrants, like, you know, that part, and then also with the direction the country was going, like, we seen money being given out to other countries. So a lot of people just was sick and tired, you know. So it made the decision really tough. Like, it wasn't just one sided. Like, yo, hey, all black people they're gonna vote Democrat. It was a lot of issues in the country that made people be like, yo, I don't know who I want to vote for.
No, I think maybe we didn't need a president. I don't know. Everybody needed a break. We needed a break. Everybody needed to close their eyes.
For real. I do want to jump into it though before we close. It's like the game. So you got it here. Broke or Brilliant. What's the backstory behind this, and why'd you come up with a card game?
Right, so Broke or Brilliant, right, I'll show you later. So Broke or Brilliant is a financial literacy drinking game, right? The way that it works is we have different type of cards, right? So you have Q&A cards, right? These cards ask different financial questions. So we could play like 2 cards, right? Before I explain it, right? So each card asks like a financial question. If you get it correct, you receive a currency card, right? So the more currency cards you or your team has, that's how you win the game. But we also have like these take a shot cards. So these cards have different like prompts on it, right? So for example, this one says, take a shot if you have under $100 and don't get paid until next week. Or take a shot if you don't own stocks, right? So poor financial decisions, you take a shot for it. And if you don't drink, you got to do squats or push-ups. That's how we play. So basically, this is just a fun way to kind of test your financial literacy skills and learn financial literacy without, you know, having to take a class, take a course, like just seeing where you are. And this is like one of my top games that's raving right now. People playing it. I have people playing it at their house over Thanksgiving. People are buying it for Christmas. People are buying it as gifts, right? And it's just a fun game. And what I learned about it is just the conversation people are having about money. but then you getting lit at the same time.
Yeah,
Feel me?
yeah.
Like we always have game nights, Friendsgivings, nights where your friends just pull up. You could play this on a date night, and this is Broke or Brilliant. So it's a financial literacy drinking game. So make sure y'all get y'all cups together, get y'all drinks together, and feel me?
What's the website?
So you can get this at financialrevolutionn.com. It's also available on Amazon. So if you look up Broke or Brilliant Finance Game on Amazon, it's on Amazon. We have it in 6 stores in Brooklyn. It's in Happy Cork. It's in Brooklyn Made and City Point. It's in The Spot NYC. Make Manifest, Life Wellness, Peace and Riot. Right, so those are the stores, things like
dope.
that. Okay. So I'm gonna read 2 cards for y'all. Test y'all financial knowledge real quick. Yeah. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna start off calm. No, you gonna know the answer to this. Hold on, no, you can't ask that. All right. Name 2 types of retirement accounts.
A Roth IRA.
Roth IRA, traditional IRA.
401k.
Okay. All right. So in this case, you'll get a currency card.
Okay.
All right. Hold on, I'm trying, cause I got some credit questions in here. I can't ask you. Name 2 types of life insurance policies.
Whole life.
Whole life, index, term.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna do some of the take a shot ones, right? So the take a shot cards, is take a shot if you ever bought something you couldn't afford just because it was on sale.
You want me to say yes? Or-
Well, like,
oh yes.
in
yes,
this case,
yes.
you would take a shot.
Yeah,
So that's how the
yes.
game work, right? Take a shot if you ever only put $5 in your gas tank.
Yes.
Yeah. Nah.
Yes. I be like, wait, $3.75, $4 for a gallon, only
All right.
doing 5.
I'm gonna ask both of y'all this because y'all both men. Be honest. Take a shot if you ever had to borrow money to go on a date.
No, we just not gonna do it.
Ayo thinking.
Nah.
Ayo thinking.
Nah.
Ayo thinking.
I had to go back in time.
We just not
But yeah,
gonna
so
do
this
the
how the game works. So we have a whole bunch of different cards and questions and things like that. So it's just fun. It's funny. Everybody start talking about dumb financial decisions they made and things that they did. I really created this game because I wanted to find fun ways to talk about financial literacy in our household
it
and bring
cool.
that conversation, but also package it in a way where we will be entertained, we will like
Yeah.
it, and we could do anything. We can, vibe out with it, right? So it's a financial literacy drinking game. We always see drinking games, we always see finance games, but we never seen a combination of both.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. And
Appreciate you.
I already was having some fun right there. Like,
Yeah.
definitely. Like, where could they go get it?
Right, so it's on my website, financialrevolutionn.com. Or you can look on Amazon. It's available on Amazon as well, under Broke or Brilliant Finance Game. And yeah, it's also available in 5 stores in Brooklyn, like I said before. And yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I like what you got going on, Aaliyah. Like from the merch, the clothes, to what you're doing in the schools, educating the kids. Like, definitely been a lot of growth over this past
Appreciate
year
you, bro.
from when we last had you on. So
Absolutely.
definitely keep killing it. And yeah, we definitely gonna keep supporting you.
Nah, for sure. I tell y'all all the time, I'm always proud of y'all. You feel me?
Thank
Like,
you.
I'm always gonna be y'all champion, even from the beginning when y'all was at that 100 followers, when I met y'all at InvestFest in person and all that. Like, you feel me? Like, I love y'all doing it.
Met
Nah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
But stay consistent. You
Absolutely.
feel me? Like, y'all going, I see a mill. I see it. I
Thank
see
you.
it, right? And just block out the noise. Stay consistent. Keep doing what y'all doing. What y'all doing is working. Don't take your foot off the gas. Don't get too comfortable either. You feel me? Because that's a real thing, right? As you
Yeah.
start getting results, you start getting laxed and
Yeah.
start getting cozy. But don't take your foot off the gas. You feel me?
Appreciate you.
That's a fact.
Thank you.
We definitely gonna leave the link to the game in the
Yeah, word.
description. For them to cop up. The holiday season is right here.
That's a fact.
You could play that with the family.
Nah, that's a fact. I played this at Thanksgiving, bro. That was
Probably was cooking
Nah,
everybody.
I was the moderator for the
Oh,
game.
okay,
My
okay,
grandmother fell. You had the kids doing the push-ups. You know what I'm saying? They yelling. They like, no, what that mean? I know what that means. Like, it was a great time. And then just to think, like, after that, you had them asking, and not even just me, like, people naturally talk to me about financial literacy, but like they asking everybody else, like, yo, you invested your money? Are you doing this? So it was just beautiful to see that conversation happen on Thanksgiving. Like, I've never seen that before. Like, my family talking about money.
Right.
on Thanksgiving. You feel me? So yeah.
That's good.
This is dope, bro.
Well,
Yeah, facts.
Aaliyah, I just want to say I appreciate you for circling back 1 year
Appreciate
later.
you, bro.
You know what I mean? This is a good conversation for sure. Prepare the people for 2025. A lot of things.
No, we talked about a lot.
talked about a lot.
I try to get me slipped up, but it's all right. You try to get me too, Cody, bro. You try to get me, but it's all right. I held my ground.
We gonna be
Facts,
good.
facts,
The people
facts.
gonna like
Definitely
it.
did.
But it gives them the opportunity to really hear, and think about certain things, and it just raises a question mark in people's heads.
No, that's a fact.
Because it definitely raised a question mark in my head for sure.
No.
A lot of things we see, in our day-to-day lives, but we don't really question, thinking about moving from United States to Africa, different places like that, just raising that idea. You know what? That actually do make sense.
No, that's a
I
fact.
could consider taking a trip out there, possibly be even moving out there.
That's a fact.
So this was a great conversation for sure. You guys go ahead, buy your broker brilliant, get your rap cards, and go ahead and subscribe to Aaliyah. She got her new podcast, not new, but
I'ma
she's
drop
reloaded
it.
the podcast. So definitely tap in with that. Also, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Motion and Success. This was another episode of Motion and Success. Any final words, bro?
Nah, we're gonna see them on the next one. But this was a good one.
This was a good one.
Appreciate
for
y'all.
sure.
Hell yeah.
All right, cool. So we're going to end off right here, y'all. See you guys in the next episode. Peace. All right, so here's a quick announcement before I have our guests introduce themselves. A lot of people that are watching this channel is more than likely small business owners, entrepreneurs, people that are looking to change their lives and make a lot of money for themselves. So now, one thing that I realize is there's stats out there proving that a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of business owners fail because they have lack of capital. So what I decided to do was I thought it was only right that I start having free classes every single Monday on our YouTube channel on the Motion and Success page every single Monday at 7 p.m. live and direct, where you'd be able to have your questions answered live. And this is literally a breakdown showing you exactly of how you can get funding for your small business. So if you're looking for business credit cards, business loans, business lines of credit, any kinds of funding, this is the live that you want to tune into. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel and put it on your calendar every Monday at 7 p.m. We are going live showing you step by step about exactly how to get funding for your small business. See you guys on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.